Yeah, they got you. They got you.
Okay, great.
So yeah, I'll start game one versus Fox. I assume this is on the like elite battles or whatever, on the online mode and all that stuff, and that's fine. If it is,
Yeah,
yeah, because I figured because of
it.
Battlefield and all that stuff. Um,
Yeah,
just some quick thoughts about the Fox matchup. I know it's a matchup that a lot of Olimars kind of struggle with because Fox pushes his advantage state really well on Olimar, and Olimar kind of that's his like one big weakness that everyone knows. It's like Olimar can struggle when he's in disadvantage, when he's above an opponent, when he's off stage or something like that. So this is a matchup where you're going to want to try and like use all of your tools at your disposal. Use your whistle for the super armor. Use your down air to, like if he's not right on top of you and he's approaching, maybe like down air him as he's approaching to put out a hitbox to make him respect it because your aerials are transcendent. Use your air dodge because you have the directional air dodge now. Use your up B as like a third jump almost, to like bait them out and then punish them. So there's a lot of different ways you can mix it up to really like keep him guessing and kind of reduce the amount of pressure he's putting on. But we'll get into it right now. Alright, so he starts out and he like immediately does like the basic Fox stuff. He's like, alright, let me drop down dash attack. And I think that's fine. You started out the game and you immediately went for a throw and that's fine. Um, Fox is going to, I'll pause right there. Fox is going to like want to get on you. And one of the big things when you're fighting a character that has so many confirms like dash attack and up tilt or just like multiple up tilts, you want to kind of accept that you're going to take this percentage. Like these are combos that you cannot prevent when you get hit all the time. So instead of going, oh no, I got hit, he's getting a combo, be like, okay, he got his combo. I need to shift my focus to removing, like getting out of there and resetting so that I can find my footing again. Because while Olimar's
hmm
a light character and he dies easy, until you're dead, it doesn't matter. Like let them put 200% on you because if you're still alive, you can still win. And as a character with Olimar with very explosive kill power and how he scales with rage and all of that, you have a lot of ways to make these comebacks. So I think you started off pretty good early on. You let him up tilt you, and then you kind of just was like, okay, let's just get out of there. Let's not try and like hit him. Let's not try and do anything, and then kind of reset it back, and then you guys are just going in. And Fox is going to like I said, stay on you. Um, I'm just watching there right now. You're kind of punishing with your whiff stuff. Early on, I think, you know, let me go back. He like knocks you to the edge, right? Like the edge of the stage, and he's kind of pressuring you. And your Pikmin die. You have like two Pikmin at this point. You have the red and the blue. You kind of pluck the white, and then he kills the blue, and then you get a grab combo, and you grab him with your white and red, and then you throw him. I don't know if you do know this, but when you pluck with Olimar, the Pikmin is generated frame 1, and the first active frame is 8, I believe. So it's very low commitment a lot of the time to pluck a Pikmin, right? So like you can, for instance, grab someone, down throw them or whatever, and then pluck like in the time that they're flying away, and then keep it going. And it can mess up really tight confirms, but at the lower percents especially, it can usually just like you can have time to pull it out, and that's how you're going to be able to keep your lineup kind of filled out while you're playing. And you're not going to catch yourself with like low Pikmin. And I think this is something that a lot of Olimars at the lower level struggle with is they don't allow themselves to like pluck Pikmin, or when they do it, they make it kind of like a slower ordeal than it needs to be. Like
Yeah,
don't be afraid
yeah,
to
I
just
do
like
that.
let two, like let a pluck two or three just like rip real quick, like bam bam bam, or like pluck one and then F smash to get them off of you. Like don't penalize yourself more than you need to for plucking. It's a very fast action. Like you can cancel it with anything. So if you need to pluck and then defend, that's fine. But like you want to incorporate it into your play as opposed to kind of segmenting it and making it like a new whole thing.
hmm Okay, yep.
So like you throw him there, and then you throw the white, and that's really good. I like that. You forward throw, and then you white, and that throw the white on that's getting damage, and then you kind of put him in an, it's like a non-committal tech chase, and that's really good. And then you're kind of running around him. You down smash, probably red as roll or whatever, and then you pluck the purple, and then I think you're a little uneasy just like watching you. You don't have total comfort in your movement and kind of like putting hitboxes around the opponent. Like you're very grounded, and when you do move, it kind of feels like choppy almost. You'll do something and you'll like stutter real quick and then go for it.
Yep.
So something to work on is kind of creating that fluid sense of gameplay and how you're playing and going like, okay, you want to have like, I tell a lot of Olimars this. It's instead of segmenting your play, it needs to be one fluid motion. where it's like, this, and it's almost like you're like a fish in a stream, and you're swimming, and if something comes, you just like dodge out of the way real quick, and you adjust momentarily as opposed to like start, stop, start, stop. Because when you start
Mm-hmm.
and stop, you waste time having to process information, and you need to try and work on like learning how to have the opponent kind of deal with their options while at the same time subconsciously dealing with like your Pikmin lineup, your management, where your position is relative to them. And that's a bit of an abstract concept, so I definitely don't expect you to just like magically start doing it. One of the things I really like is just like kind of looking at the entire game screen like a kind of like a picture frame and focusing in on where you need to be at any given moment. So like you'll be fighting and you'll be looking at it and kind of just like taking in the whole picture, where you are, where your opponent is, and then all of a sudden you'll just like momentarily zoom in on your Pikmin and be like, that's my lineup, and you take like a snapshot of it, and then you get back into it and you don't have to look at your lineup again. Um, and that's going to allow you to like kind of redistribute some of your mental processing power into getting your gameplay going, and you're not going to have to like constantly distract yourself with things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
He gets his up air, he gets his back air, classic Fox stuff. Your recovery's not too bad, honestly. Like I think you're doing fine. He's knocking you around. You're not getting hit with anything too big. Like you got caught just now with like the back hit, the back hit of up smash, and it threw you onto the platform. And like you said, you missed a tech. That's fine. You're gonna get better with those in time. And then he up smashes you. I think sometimes it's okay to go to the ledge if you're unsure when you're recovering. Like
Mm-hmm.
I look at the ledge as a way to give like um a momentary like a moment of reprieve when I'm being pressured. It's like it guarantees me invincibility when it's my first time grabbing it. And it's those like quick moments where you can take a second to collect yourself and then think about how you want to get around them. And obviously you can get punished on the ledge and you can get punished when you're picking your options. But it's like sometimes all you need is that just moment to get a beat on their timing or give you a second to realize what's happening, and then you can kind of adjust as opposed to like trying to up B over him or ram your head back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I struggle with, and that I think it's really important to be like, okay, I'm losing this interaction. Get out of there. Like just do what you can to distance yourself from that situation, and don't try and brute force your way back in. Because while you have good hitboxes and while you have good mobility with that B, sometimes you do just need to be like, no, I'm already at a disadvantage, and unless I make like the perfect play here, you're just giving him more than he deserves.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I try to do like, sort of like tricky like down airs and stuff like
Hmm.
that too much. I think I
Yeah.
get caught right there and
Yeah,
stuff.
and all of that stuff is really good to incorporate. You have a lot of like creativity in how you can go about getting at a disadvantage or how you can use your up B and things like that. And I encourage you to do it. But it's like, yeah, finding that fine balance of like when do I need to reel back and just go for the simple option. Maybe it's time for me to grab the legend roll, or a regular get up or something like that, as opposed to try and do some fancy juking option.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you hit the ground and then you roll in and he up smashes you, no problem. You come down, you
Mm-hmm.
pluck your Pikmin real quick, pretty simple. Um, just something. This is a little thing I do. I mean, every Olimar has their own particular playstyle, but like you come down from the stock and you pluck your Pikmin, and that's fine. And it's like yellow, blue, white, and you cycle twice. You do two up airs, and I don't know if the intention of the up airs was to cycle your Pikmin or to maybe like try and make him respect you. But then you had a white in front, and instead of throwing the white when he was to the left of you and you had some distance, you actually go for a back air, which yeah, he had to respect it, but with like a side B in that case, like had you done like a retreating side B, so you were like going away from him with it, you were putting out a hitbox he has to respect, putting distance between you, and once he starts approaching, you then give yourself a little bit of extra room to be like, oh, now I can forward smash, now I can forward air.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like you wanna try and be like, these are the Pikmin I have. How can I use them in the best possible way to elicit a response out of my opponent? Whites are the most threatening thing in that people see them and they're like, I need to get these off me. I need to do something right now, and they want to get them off of them. They hit them. That gives them extra lag on their hit. Then you can punish. If they want to approach, you're putting space between you. You're making them do something. But now you have a yellow in front as opposed to the white. The yellow is much safer. It's much bigger hitbox wise. It's going to create a better time for you as opposed to a white.
Okay, great.
Get the forward smash, and then I think you're going for a bit of a more passive, ledge guarding slash ledge trapping gameplay, and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with kind of just like playing it safe and kind of using the tip of your spacing to keep him out. So that was definitely a solid choice there. Depending on how comfortable you are in like punishing someone, you can get a bit more ballsy and go for like things like down tilt to 2 frame or down either up B or things like that. Or a lot of the times you can like put out a forward smash while they're on the ledge to force them to like regular get up, for instance, or roll, and then punish that option because your smashes are so low committal, like they have so little lag that a lot of the time you can like I said, put one out and then they have to worry about that, and then you do something else. But the way you did it, it's pretty simple, straightforward. It's like, I'm going to kind of let myself react to what you're doing. I'm going to give myself space so I'm not right on top of you, but at the same time put these hitboxes out right in front of me, so you have to respect them.
I think I tend to do like a lot of the more aggressive options once I'm familiar with the matchup. I truthfully haven't played many Foxes, and so I'm just like watching this with you, like noticing that like how passive I am being. I think it's I'm like sort of secretly worried about getting caught with something I haven't been caught with before.
That's very valid too. I mean, something you'll notice with any Olimar, high level, top level, whatever it is for the Olimars, they're all very different in how they play. You'll have very aggressive ones. You'll have very defensive ones. You have ones that are more neutral focused or whatever. They might not push their advantage state as well, and that's fine. When you play the character, you have all that creativity. So don't feel like you have to do something per se. Obviously, once you find that confidence and you kind of like you're like, oh, I know what he's doing, or I know what his options are, or I've called on, and you do feel comfortable maybe turning it up or getting, more in his face. That's fine. But having a more reserved strategy like that is fine. I know when I go into tournaments a lot of things like that, or I'm not too familiar with a matchup, I'll give my opponent benefit of the doubt and kind of play in a way you're playing, where it's like you're using the max range on a lot of your stuff, and you're kind of just like testing the waters, almost seeing the limit of what they can do. And then once I do find, like you said, more comfortable, then I'm ready to be in their face. Then I'm ready to like really start pressuring them and push them and see how much they're going to give me.
Excellent.
Dash attack up tilt. I think this little interaction happens. He comes down, he gets you the dash attack, he gets a couple up tilts, and then you get hit, and then you go for a forward smash. Fox specifically, he really, not like a hard counter, but shielding is super strong against him. Like, he does have some safe shield pressure, yes, but it's like he's not gonna break your shield, he's not gonna kill throw you, and if he throws you, yeah, you get grabbed or whatever, but it's like you kind of like rinse and repeating the scenario. It's like, okay, that's just buying me more time to figure out what to do. And when Fox hits you, or any character similar to Fox, where they're very like high combo oriented, when you get a moment where you kind of like you land and they're not right on top of you, and you have a moment to act, you really want to try and dial down and be like, okay, I need to not like get fidgety and try and like forward smash him or do something like that. Like there, you tried to forward smash and he managed to dash attack you before your attack came out, right? You got hit. And in a minute like that, then you could instead try to be like, okay, he's off of me. I have a moment. Let's shield if I think he's going to go for another attack. And if he shields, maybe you could up smash out of shield or neutral air out of shield or something like that. Or be like, oh, I have a moment. There's some space. Let me run back and then maybe just run away or pivot F smash or side B and kind of give yourself some distance again to stop him or make it more difficult for him to kind of like keep up on you. If he gives you the space, you want to try and take it and defuse that situation. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, we'll get into it. So he dash attacks you. Nair, standard Fox stuff. I think like you were saying before, we talked about, you're kind of taking this in a more passive approach for the matchup. Taking this in a more passive approach to the matchup. I think you could incorporate some more side Bs. I know I'm typically looked at as a more side B heavy Olimar player, but it's to kind of fill the downtime in a lot of these little instances where there's gaps between us. And while it helps me like cycle my lineup to one I want, it also kind of, like I said earlier, forces a response out of them. So like if we go back here, like he knocks you up or whatever, he jabs, you catch him with your grab, you back throw, and then you try to pluck. I'm assuming that was an accident, and then you up smash, and then you were a little slow on the follow up. Those will come in time or whatever. That's no big deal. And then you down smash, but it's like you knocked him down with this down smash, and then you kind of did a little like dash dance right there, and then you side beat. I think you could have like side beat, and then you had a purple, and then maybe purple side beat again to force a hitbox into him, and then it's kind of like putting him in a tech chase situation. And once he's in a tech chase situation, you can start pressing your advantage. You want to like look at your lineup and be like, okay, this is what I have. How can I take this and use it to put him in that bad spot? If you had the red, or maybe be like red forward throw, like auto cancel or something into the purple side B. Purple side B is such a powerful tool because it's relatively fast, it's relatively low lag, and it covers so much space because you throw it, and it's like as you throw it, it'll cover where they're at, it'll cover if they roll back, it'll cover if they jump, and then that leaves you to cover if they're in front of you or if they go in front of you. And it can cover so many options. So it's like you could purple side beat, and then you could forward air right after. And if they roll in, they get forward air. If they stay there, they get side beat. If they roll back, they get side beat. And it's going to allow you to create a better like pressure on the opponents. I think incorporating side beat in general more in a lot of the dead time, kind of accelerating that gameplay, the speed wise that I was saying. But like purple side beat especially is going to allow you to pressure your opponent more and push your own advantage state. And it can also help you get out of disadvantage. If you're trying to recover and then you throw a purple side B, they have to respect it in some capacity. They have to shield it, they have to dodge it, they have to hit it. And in those times, that can either give you a chance to hit them again, or it can give you a chance to maybe grab the ledge or get past them and then reset the situation.
Yep. Do you put any or I guess what are your thoughts when you're deciding to, so your side being, do you do it from the ground, do you jump, what are some sort of approaches that you take?
Honestly, side B can be used from anywhere. If you see me jumping or just jumping in general, it's usually just to cover a different amount of distance, because when you jump, you're going to get more distance from your side B. But both of them have their benefits. It's like the jumping side B is usually to, one, allow me to drift back when I do it if I need to, or drift forward because I'm not like locking myself into a grounded one. Or to when I have like two purples, for instance, I'll like jump side B, then falling, and I'm on the ground, and then I'll side B again, and now it's like two whole planes are covered. And then I can do it. So it's a lot of distance, where you're looking to cover with your side B. So I don't know if later on if you want to test it out, you can go into training mode, or if you already know it, and really figure out the difference in distance that you're going to get from the different heights. But it's like that, and then how I want to incorporate my movement. Do I need to retreat? Do I need to approach? Is it fine? If I've knocked somebody down and they can't punish me, then maybe it's alright if I stand there and do the grounded side B, just to latch it on real quick. But if they're ready to be mobile, then I might need to get out of there faster. I noticed you don't like down throw too much. I've seen you go for a lot of forward and back throw.
Yep.
Down throw is good. It's your combo throw. It's a little weird in this game because the knockback angle on it is kind of far. But I mean, something that more unexperienced players will do is if you down throw them near a ledge, they instinctively DI in sometimes because they don't want to get knocked farther away. They might think a forward throw's coming. And if they do that, then you can kind of guarantee a forward air or back air depending on their DI and their character and their percent. So I think forward throw and back throw definitely have their use. Back throw especially, it's the highest damage throw you have. Forward throw is a kill throw mix-up, but they're both really good for positional advantage. But I think incorporating down throw more, especially at lower percents, higher percents, you don't need to worry about it because you won't follow up. But those lower percents, incorporate it, get a combo, get a side B off it even. Just try and get more bang for your buck essentially when you get a grab.
Yep. I do a lot of I'm sort of in the habit of doing a lot of forward throws because I find myself playing a lot of sorties, and I just trying to get them as far off stage as possible, and then try to catch them doing their double jump early and then forward airing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be something.
Why not? But I guess what I was gonna say was, do you think that so I should probably start off with down throwing most people at low percents to be able to attack on as much damage as possible, and then maybe after I have a decent percentage, then I
down throw. It's on a lot of characters. Probably I think all of them you can down throw forward air, even down throw up smash them sometimes. It's there's so many different follow ups off down throw that you can do depending on how they DI and their character and stuff. So it's definitely a valuable tool to use at lower percents.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and the forward throw thing is probably only a strategy that works on like plebs.
Like, yeah,
Once they
it
get past a certain like level, it's probably not going to work
if
anymore.
you can do the forward throws. Like, don't. The nice thing about Olimar is all of his moves are useful. So don't, like, including throws. So don't limit yourself. But it's like when you're forward throwing someone, you're doing it to get positional advantage usually, or to catch
Hmm.
them up with the DI mix up. And when you do that, you generally want to shift your mindset to, I'm not necessarily going to go out there and hit them immediately. It's instead I'm going to try and ledge trap them. Hit their
Okay.
recovery when they're at the ledge or when they're recovering from the ledge, because unless they have a bad recovery or they're at a much higher percent and puts a lot of distance, they're usually going to recover before you can get to them.
Okay. Great.
So like this is another instance of where I think a side B would have been pretty useful. So you get knocked up, you get down there, you do a jump down there, and then here your lineup is yellow, purple, red.
Hmm.
And if you look at the stream, I'll highlight it later. Like I'll show you. There's a considerable amount of distance between you and the fox. I think yellow side being here or yellow up airing, something to cycle the purple to the front would be beneficial because now you're getting that
Oh.
purple there, and with the purple you have harder hitting aerials. You have the purple side B. You have a lot of stuff, and it's going to give you a little bit of extra insurance to get him off. What if you have the legend, you have a purple, you can drop down purple side B forward air, or drop down purple side B neutral air, as opposed to if you only had that yellow in front.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I have. I saw when I have a lot of brain power, like when I throw people off the stage or whatever, then I'm able to cycle. But so far, I'm not able to like midair cycling is like
Yeah, it's
out of my realm
no,
yet.
no, that's fine, that's fine. It's baby steps with him. There's a lot to take in with this character.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
so you get the ledge, jump air dodge, not too bad. Get it down, smash. Here you so you got your double hit down smash, and you started pressuring, and you threw the purple, but you just stopped yourself like halfway through. Like you were going, you threw the purple, and then you just stopped.
Hmm.
I think if you were gonna go in and try and pressure advantage state, that's fine, but you need to be more confident. Not saying you necessarily need to run in and hit his shield, but like scare him, force a
Yeah.
response out of him, as opposed to like stopping cold in the middle of your way there and then like letting him recover.
Hmm.
All right, hit him with the old double forward smash, classic. It's astonishing how many people get hit by that. So this is something that, yeah, let me see what happens in this scenario. Okay, you managed to get by, but this is something that a lot of Olimars do that I don't recommend. So you're at the ledge right here. You get hit, and he jabs you, and then you immediately go for an up B, but you don't need to. There are instances where it's acceptable to immediately up B when you've just been hit. I'll do it a lot, because if you notice right here on this freeze frame, your Pikmin have an amount of distance between you. And
Hmm.
what you can do is you can up B if they're far enough apart from you, and it'll let you up B like you're not carrying them, but they will rejoin your line, and you will not have the weight
Wow.
of them. And that is something I do a lot when I get knocked off stage and I want to maintain my lineup and recover quickly. However, in this scenario, you got hit, and you got hit, and you have your jump, you have a purple in front, and you immediately up bead. And I think it would have been better
If
to.
I'm being completely honest, I think I'm trying to throw here and I flub the input.
That would also make sense. I do that. I do
See,
that
I
plenty
do it
myself.
so
Yeah,
much.
that would make a lot more sense. Because yeah, you go for the up B, but like jumping and then like purple side beam would have been much better. So don't worry too much
Do
about
you
that.
do you mix up how long you hold the jump then? Yeah, I got
Yes.
really lucky there, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about mixing up your timing. Like you don't want to get caught in the same pattern over and over again. Or if you do,
Yeah,
like
okay.
there are times where I'll do the same thing over and over again, but it's just like because I know they'll keep doing light punishes, and it's buying me time to think of a better option. But
Oh, okay.
mixing up your options, going high, low, things like that, definitely makes a big difference. Like sometimes you can save your jump, go really low, have them commit, and then like catch them with a rising up air, and then you get a free recovery, and now they got hit, and you're on the ledge, and then now you have a chance to spike them, things like that.
Mm, okay, great.
Just from watching this game too, I'm noticing a lot. Your out of shield options are very weak, Don't,
Yes.
like up smash out of shield, fair out of shield, neutral out of shield. Shield grab's a little bad because of the speed on it. But like I think when someone hits your shield, obviously there are exceptions with really safe stuff. You don't want to get like hit because you try to punish something you can't. But like just being a bit more confident, like he hit my shield, I'm ready to go. And you can't always react to stuff like that. But what you can do is use like the information given to you in the current situation to get a really good guess on what they're gonna do. So like, let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. So you get knocked up here. Alright, you clip with the down air. It's no problem, no problem. He kills you. That's not. I need to go back a little farther. So you forward smash right here. You get knocked. You forward smash right here, and the distance between you and Fox is like that perfect dash attack distance. The spacing between characters can tell a lot about their current options. It can tell a lot about what you're gonna do, like you forward smashed, and it's gonna tell a lot about what they're gonna do. A character like Fox likes dash attack. It's how they put you in the air. It's how they start their combos. So the forward smash in this case was fine because it made him respected, right? It gives you a moment where it's like you now have to respect this hitbox. But your follow-up option was really poor. You went for a purple side B, and then he was already, after that forward smash had ended, he's already like, I'm coming, I'm in your face. And you might have been able to catch him with something that wasn't a side B, but because you went for it, because I'm assuming you didn't think of the dash attack, you got caught. So kind of just like looking at the spacing between you, the positions you guys have relative to each other, and being like, okay, it's very likely my opponent will do this. And you're gonna be able to have a greater like chance of predicting what they're gonna do accurately.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
how I handle a lot of characters who might have really good zone breaking things and stuff like that. It's like I'm always paying attention to where they are, what they, and I know what they want as characters because I've played against them and I've kind of done my research. But there's so much information in the game that's not even in their control. It's just like the game itself tells you a lot about what their options are. Like if Fox's entire stage, an entire like across the entirety of like FD against you, he's not going to up smash you, he's not going to forward smash you, he's going to laser, he's going to approach, and it's like you can kind of process of elimination all of the options until you're left with a few, and then it'll be able to help you.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, 1-1. So you have a white cycler, that's fine. Accidental at B, I can already tell.
Yeah, this is towards the end of it. This is towards the end of a session, so I started like flubbing a lot, and I just changed my controls because I switched to the Pro controller. So I'm a little bit.
Do you use tap jump?
No, I actually switched to both left triggers are jump, so I can do short hop just by smashing my two fingers in.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm solely tap jump. It's all I use. But I definitely also make those same mistakes, like because when you roll your stick for your jump into like a side B, it's very easy to up B as well. When you do it, it's just like just try and get out of there. Like your first thought when you accidentally up B is like, don't get hit. If I do, diffuse the situation immediately. I'm noticing you're also not whistle armoring anything. I think it's something to try and incorporate more. Like if he's up tilting you, try and DI out in a way to put more space between you guys, and then either jump away, air dodge, or whistle. Whistle's your fastest option. It's faster than air dodge. Oh, excuse me. And it's it can give you a moment where like you whistle a up tilt and then you're on the ground and then now you can like jab him or something.
Yep. So when he's like when he's doing like all those up tilt doubles,
and it won't always
mash whistle.
It won't always get you out of it. There are times where it's just straight up true, but it's like at the higher percent where you're hitting like the tip of the up tilts. I wouldn't say mash it. I never recommend mashing whistle because it's a bit of a tight window in terms of the move, but kind of like taking the time to feel it out and kind of use the timings you're getting hit to. Like adjust your own timing. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Like that instance alone, you got up tilted, and then he put you in disadvantage, and then kind of spiraled out of control. And that's how Fox is as a character. That's how Olimar is as a character. But kind of just like when it happens, don't let yourself get like too bent out of shape about it. Quick instance right here. What's up?
I was gonna say that's something I took from like your early video was just like just accept the fact that you're
Yeah,
gonna have a bad time at
you're going to
disadvantage.
get
So
hit. You're going to take damage.
mm,
Laugh it off if you gotta. You're Olimar. You got your own dumb stuff.
yeah,
um, so right here though, he rapid jabs you, your shield, and he finishes. That isn't like if you're ever unsure what you want to do, just forward air out of shield on that. It's super quick. You're gonna punish him, but then you roll away, and you gave away
okay.
a free punish. But that'll go back to, like I said, kind of becoming more familiar with your out of shield options.
Mm-hmm.
This is another instance where you did not need to side B, or
Yep.
up B, when you get hit away. Like he back airs you, and when you get knocked away, you know how like when you up B, Pikmin have different weight values. Like purples are heavier, whites are lighter, and it can
Yeah.
like yeah okay. Well, when you get knocked away, that also applies. Like if you notice, the yellow is traveling faster than the purple. They have a different airspeed, so that can actually. The purple is in the front of your line at this moment, but that can actually force reorganize your line for you. And what that can allow you to do is when you get knocked away, you can jump or you can side B with a yellow that jumped to the front of your line, and then you get to keep your purple while also getting a Pikmin out of your line to help you recover.
Mm.
So you up B here, and I don't think you needed to because you had two Pikmin, and it kind of made you like a sitting duck. But had you like jumped and then immediately yellow side B'd, you would have had a purple, you would have had some control of your space, and you could have up B'd if you needed to. You could have approached with a purple aerial, purple side B, gone to the ledge. But this up B's so committal because once you do it, you're locked into it. So paying attention to that, like really, and that's a bit of a finer detail that I definitely wouldn't expect you to know, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind moving forward. Like these little things you can do to just like rework your lineup immediately.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's great to know.
I'll just touch down here real quick in case you didn't know this. So you go for a down air here out of your up B, but there's actually a glitch with Olimar's up B where if you have, let's say you're carrying two Pikmin like you're about to, you have a white Pikmin on the ground running back to you. If you have a Pikmin on the ground and you up B and you cancel your up B with an aerial, it will always not, like it'll always whiff. A Pikmin will never come out if there's a Pikmin on the ground. It's really stupid.
Hmm.
But I don't know why it didn't Smash 4 too. So that's why your down air actually whiffs here because the white was still on the ground.
Fucking white Pikmin.
Yeah. So if you ever do notice that, neutral air could just be a safe bet. You know, if you do need to throw out an aerial and you want to hitbox. So you down smash him here. I think there you could have like white side beat him. White like you down smash him and like the if you look at the frame like he's a little bit below your level. White side B is going to follow that arc and go down, so there's a good chance it'll hit him. And then you now put a yellow in front. Yellows have big hitboxes. They're really good for edge guarding. You could attempt to down smash two frame him.
Okay.
You could attempt a yellow fair, yellow dare. And it's going to make your hits more impactful. It's going to make them easier to hit.
The audio just cut out for a second. I don't know if you muted or something.
I
There it goes. You're back.
Good. Okay. I didn't say anything, thankfully, so
I
you're
see.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, you lose that game. It was pretty close. I think I touched down on most of the stuff. A lot of like how you handle disadvantage, the little like micromanagement things for your lineup, trying to apply better out of shield options. So, I'll put a lot of this stuff in the document later on.
Yeah. That little hop at the end kills me watching it again.
Yeah. Rewatching your losses is never fun, trust me. I do it a lot. Alright, so we're going to get into this old Ike match. I hate Ike. Neutral air is a really annoying move.
Yes.
I've gotten graced with MKLeo's presence in 2 tournaments now.
Yeah, I know. I watched. I was like, perhaps Myran has the secret to this matchup because I am annoyed by it. I think this is the only one I win. So
Okay. There started off. You know, I'll probably pause less to snapshot stuff. Just if like I've already touched down on it. That was another example of him doing something unsafe on your shield, and you went for a shield grab, which is slow. You know, don't be up smash out of shield, forward air out of shield. Really quick options. Forward air out of shield and neutral air out of shield are your fastest out of shield options at frame 10 because there's the 3 frames of jump squat and there are frame 7 aerials. Up smash out of shield is frame 12 because you cancel the jump with an aerial, or you cancel your shield with or up smash. My apologies. And then that's your fast options. Grab definitely slower than both of those. So just getting more comfortable with that. You go for the back throw, yeah, yeah, yeah. To be expected, but that's all right. You'll make the adjustments.
Also, if you see me throw a Pikmin backwards, that's just totally a flub. I don't know why, but like on some of these laggy matches online, I feel like I get turned around like
There's
unexpectedly.
it's likely how it's buffering snapback. Like when you hit your control stick and it flicks back, it's
Ah, okay.
snapping back so hard. I don't know if pro controllers have a big issue with it, but with online or maybe if you're hitting your stick really hard, it might just like snap back too easily. So you might want to just work on kind of instead of letting your controller like control stick fling back, you kind of nudging it back into a neutral position.
Okay. Yep.
Well, on the bright side, I mean, I feel like you're relatively solid for being someone so new. And I've touched down on a lot of the issues, and they're your issues are consistent, which I like. It's not like it's a new thing every game so far. It's like
Mm.
you have these fundamental problems that once you kind of change are going to give you a bit more advantage in how you're dealing with certain options. So right there, you were in the corner, and he's kind of just like threatening you with all these hitboxes or whatever, and that's fine. And you have a purple, but you kind of just like stand there and let him do whatever he wants. Like you could have ran it and fared. You could have purple side, like short hop purple side B. He shields it, and then you dash attack to cross him up. When he
Okay.
shields,
Yep.
or if he shields the purple side B, then you forward smash, or you forward it if you're still in the air. Like you have this tool to defuse pressure and make him respect you.
Oh, that's right, because I'll pick it up on the way to him,
Yes,
right?
yes, and if it
Mm.
bounces off shield, you can reuse it immediately. So don't be afraid
Okay,
to
great.
like be like get off of me. And like obviously you need to give your opponent a certain degree of respect when they're Ike or they have kill moves or whatever. But it's like don't be afraid to kind of just like force your way out of the corner. I personally find the corner really comfortable. It puts me near the ledge. It kind of limits their it limits their approach options to a very linear set. And while that can be hard because you don't have anywhere to run sometimes, it can also kind of give you an easier time to understand how they're going to do their options.
Hmm.
So, don't be afraid to corner yourself at all the time. Yeah, a lot of just like side B, like learning how to push your advantage state. Like you wanna be able to like hit one and then kind of keep it going, and that's how you're gonna get these really explosive stocks and things like that. They're gonna help you. Something that's really good with Olimar too is running forward smash or running down smash. Like you can do anything out of a dash. So like if you see someone doing something, they're running slow, you just run forward smash them. Like you ran and fared him in there, but I believe you would have been able to run forward smash him, and that would have killed him most likely because it was percent.
Okay.
And it's like you just like you're like checking them almost. It's like are you paying attention? Bam. And it can be a good option to like get a lot of damage off someone. It's also a great way to follow up off missed techs on jabs. Like if you don't feel comfortable going for a jab lock, like jab jab, run forward, F smash with a miss tech.
Okay. Do you use smash stick or tilt stick?
Smash stick.
Okay.
I think it's objectively better for Olimar.
Yeah,
The
it seems like
only
it.
the only instance where I would ever see a scenario for tilt stick being better is if you're doing running up tilts. Those are very, very niche. I mean, the only time you're doing a running up tilt is if you're trying to hit someone with a very tight anti-air.
Hmm.
And that's not going to happen very often, and you don't need to do that. But like with the way you're letting smashes rip, you're just better off running smash stick.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, like right there, you had two purples, and once again, going back, you need to use the side beat to generate pressure. Your lineup is so it dictates, or no, I don't want to use the word dictate because that's a bit too strong. When you have a certain lineup, you want to let it influence your options, but you
Mm.
don't want to let it like force you into options. So
Yep.
while like purple side B is really good, sometimes you might need to grab with the purple, or sometimes you might need to forward air forward smash with the white. But like let your playstyle evolve with your lineup, right? Like when you have the purple, start pressuring, change the dynamic, and if you like you said you watched my videos, if you notice like that. You're fighting almost like two different players when I have like purples compared to no purples because I'm allowed so much more freedom in how I can do things. So just letting yourself kind of evolve in the match when your lineup changes, when you have a blue, when you have a yellow, purple, red, white, whatever it is, so that it one makes it harder for your opponent to deal with if you're changing your play style on the fly like that with new options, but it also is going to benefit you more in the long run to really push the limits of your lineup at the time and kind of use all of those benefits.
Hmm.
there, for instance, you forward smash them with the white, and you got to kill. You know, like it's fine to do these things. You never want to limit yourself to like I have to do this with this color or anything.
Okay.
So right there, I mean, he nairs you, then you try and go back in, nairs you again, and then he up airs you on your tech chase, like he tech chases you. When you were approaching, it was a very passive approach. Like you kind of just like didn't do it. Like you just ran and jumped, and you didn't do anything. So like making sure to have these hitboxes out before you're on top of them. Like treat yourself like a sword character in some cases, where you're like, I'm approaching with my sword with the forward air.
Okay.
Olimar, though, which can help against characters that jump a lot, sword characters too, kind of like getting the rhythm on their jump timings and then being like, oh, they jumped now, and then run and down tilt them. And you're kind of it's gonna lower your hitbox because you're gonna crouch, and it's gonna give you a good chance to catch their landing with a down tilt, pop them up, and potentially get a combo.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, so this instance, he knocks you off stage. He starts charging Aether. You throw your purple, which was fine, but once he committed to Aether, you had a few options. You went low, and you could have actually upbeat to the other side of the stage, to the other ledge, and that would have been fine. When you throw the purple now, you could have immediately upbeat and went high and went above him while he was committing to Aether and dodging him. Or you could have, the third option, you could have upbeat, and then while you were going to the ledge, kind of stop before you get to it, hover there for a moment, let him commit to Aether, because he probably would have released it when he saw you approaching, and then let it rock. You dodges you, it hits your Pikmin or whatever. But since you immediately kind of like went in for the ledge grab, thinking you were fine, which you normally would have been, the extension on your purple Pikmin actually had you die because of it. Like he hit your purple, it extended his hitbox, and then you went into it.
Oh, is that why?
Yes.
Oh, because I'm like, his hitbox is out forever.
Yeah, no. It hit your purple, and then that makes his hitbox linger. And then, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, this is insane. I was like,
yeah.
An insane length of time for a hitbox.
Yeah.
I see now. Okay, I did not realize that the purple was what caused that issue. Oh, that's interesting. Do you have any suggestions for getting better coverage on the side B?
It's really difficult to do.
Okay.
It depends on their height. Because like if they're really high, you're probably not going to catch it because they're going to have the full stage to go. You can, if you have a Pikmin on him, it will snipe it. So like let's say you knocked him off stage, right? And he's in the air, and while he's flying away, you throw a Pikmin onto him, the front of him. If he side Bs, it'll actually hit the Pikmin and stop him right there.
Yeah.
So you can do that. If you're really ballsy, and this is something I've gone for and it's had varying success, you can up air it or back air it, or down air it, but it's really difficult because it's so fast and they can mix up their timing. But because your aerials are transcendent, you're gonna win if you hit it. It's just very difficult to do. You can kind of try and threaten space and make them go lower, and then try and cover their ledge option, them grabbing the ledge.
So if you got some margin and they're not punishing you hard for it, you can just keep
yeah. Or if you have like a fat lead and you're comfortable with maybe fucking up, but if it's close, you're probably just better off like letting them recover and then resetting and then just outplaying them again.
Okay, great.
Like at most, go for like a purple or go for like a side B, try and mess them up that way, and then change it and then like reset it and then go from there. Alright, let's check out this old Mario game. How do you feel about the Mario matchup?
I haven't played it a ton. I played 2 matches against this guy, 2 in a row. The second one was on like a really non-standard weird stage, but I took it to very close on the last stock, and I think this one is like last stock as well.
Okay.
So I think I'm not aware of like when he's putting me in danger, so I lose quite a few stocks on like stupid things where I'm like recovering too close to him, or whatever. Yeah. I did play another tricky Mario the other day that used his cape really, really well.
Yeah. Cape can be frustrating.
Can be difficult. Yeah. So I just started grabbing a lot more.
Yeah, the dynamic for any reflector in general, but Mario especially with his general speed, is just like you want to shift from a smash heavy playstyle to one more in Smash 4 it was very like grab oriented because your grab was lagless in a lot of ways. Your pivot grab. In this game, you can still grab. It's just very high commitment to a lot of aerials. Be like you have to, you treat yourself like a sword character. Sword characters give Mario
Okay.
trouble. You're like, get away from me. I can challenge you in the air. And you incorporate Smash as more of a hard read or a tech chase or a thing where it's gonna work or it's gonna be a low commitment, not reflected option.
Okay, great.
Starting out with a side B, I like that. I like that. There, you actually you knock him down and you get in front of him and you yellow side B. And I think had you put out the yellow forward smash when he came in and he like forward airs, you would have actually been able to, or I'm pretty sure with that spacing you would have been able to grab him off of that forward smash as opposed to go for the yellow side B. So you would have gotten more damage from it. So that's just like when they're approaching at this like perfect diagonal angle and you've got a considerable amount of space between you. That's like go to forward smash area because he's committing to that forward air. So it's likely that he's going to come right into your forward smash range.
Okay.
Good grab.
Do you think I should be pummeling more on my grabs?
A higher percents, yes. At lower percents, you don't need to worry about it. They'll just break out.
When you say higher percents, what do you feel like the threshold is?
I'll usually go for a pummel about 60.
60?
I'll go for like 1 if I'm feeling confident. If I know they have like really good matching ability, I won't even mess around with it until way higher percents. But like you'll notice in my play at like kill percents, I'm going for 1, 2, sometimes even 3 pummels to milk every bit of percent I can get. Just something to keep in mind is when you grab someone and you have a pigment on you, and they have a pigment on them, every time you pummel, it actually delays the tick from happening. So pummeling when they have a pigment on them can actually slow down the rate that your pigment is ticking and get you less damage. So you kind of want to get like a rhythm of like letting it tick and then pummeling and then going for your throw and things like that. It's weird.
Oh, okay. So like alternating sort of.
Yeah. So you don't just like pummel and mess up the tick timing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Are you doing pretty good so far? Keeping him honest with those forward smashes.
Oh God, these like up Bs that are not on purpose.
It happens to the best of us, man. I was playing in tournament the other day, and I literally started out 2 tournament games straight with me starting with that B, and I was like, ugh.
See that like that get up and forward smash is like mindless move.
There's something I think was a little bad. So you got knocked away, and this is something a lot of Olimars do, especially at the lower level too. So you get knocked out, and purples are stupid. I don't know why they're coded like this. But when you get knocked away, in certain instances, they will fall out of your line. They will just drop and die, and you need to whistle them back. And sometimes it takes more than 1 whistle. 1 whistle won't do it all the time. Sometimes you have to whistle 2 to 3 times. Sometimes you have to jump and whistle. I don't know if jumping like resets the position, but I think it would have been important here to keep your purple because it's such a valuable asset in getting people off of you. So like right there when you jump instead of up being jump whistle, and then you don't need to up B, or if you need to, you can do it after.
Yeah. I remember this part, and I was totally in my head like, oh God, there goes my purple. I wish I could whistle right now. And then I landed, and I whistled twice.
Yeah. You were like, please come back.
Well, I just figured out the other day that you can roll onto stage, and they drop off, and you can whistle them back through the stage. I had no idea, so that was a nice thing to figure out.
Yep. A lot of little like things like that with Olimar. Oh, got dunked. I see what you mean about like not being aware of what he was doing. Like you kind of just like flew in, like that spacing kind of just allowed you to get forward aired there. So yeah, that's something that'll come with more practice. It'll help you kind of just like understand how things work. You'll figure it out with time. I think kind of going back to what I said, kind of like cutting down your immediate up B usage when you're recovering, allowing yourself to evaluate what's happening. Don't hard commit to an option like that. Be like, I have a jump, I have this. Let me get my lineup straightened out so I have a way to fight back easier. It's gonna help you a lot more. You don't always want to do the obvious recovery option, you know?
Yep.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. There again, there it goes again. Oh, yep. So that was just like two two of the old red flags in one. It was like your, poor out of shield option usage, which just another reminder to really like be comfortable in up smashing, grabbing, forward airing, up smashing and forward airing, especially because they're so fast. Into the like, I got hit, I have to immediately jump and recover. Then you got forward aired. But I think you'll definitely get them down in no time. Like the problems that you have are like they're not any super specific like bad issue. It's like these are things that can be fixed pretty simple with just like time. And now that you're more aware of them, it's gonna help a lot more.
I think I've noticed as well. I think I spend too much time sitting in shield when I'm not actually in danger. I
Yeah.
think it's like it hampers my
Uh,
movement a lot.
yes and no. I think it's fine if you're if you're not getting punished for it, especially like super hard. Don't sweat it too much.
Okay.
Um, but like at the same time, like yeah, you don't want to like give them more respect than they need. One last thing before I finish the game. You up smashed him, I think it was, and you could have followed up, or you down aired him, and you immediately went for an up smash. But after the down air, you should have threatened with an up air, because you're gonna be
Okay.
able to chase him easier and kind of like go for like a short hop up air, kind of like put the hitbox out as he's falling, so he has to now
Mm,
deal with it or he falls into it. Whereas up smash, you went here and yeah, it might have poked him, but it was a hard commitment to this one section. Where when you're up
sure.
airing, you have so much drift to it. Um, so I think, after watching all these games, it's like the big things are one, becoming more comfortable with pushing your advantage state when you get a hit, really running with it, incorporating side B more into your general flow of the game to help like get your lineup moving, apply more damage, elicit a response out of the opponent. Your out of shield options, doing that, making sure you're more comfortable with like hitting the opponent after they hit you with something unsafe. Um, Not using up B so much immediately off stage, like letting yourself reorganize your lineup, do whatever you need to, fight back off stage, use your jump, before you commit to a hard option like up B. And then I think just accelerating the rate that you're playing the game a little bit, like playing faster, allowing yourself to create a fluid motion of gameplay and not segmenting it as much. That'll definitely come in practice though. That's the hardest thing to do because it's not easy to just like do something all the time while it also being effective. Um, but if you keep playing, it's gonna get better as long as you're mindful about it. Like the biggest thing is like when you play, be like, oh no, I'm just standing here. I gotta do something. Like try to catch yourself like doing these really like bad habits or these dull options and be like, oh, I need to fix that. Now I'll try this option or next time I'll do that.
Uh-huh.
But you did say you had some questions. So I don't know if you can feel free to.
Yeah. One thing. So like Pikmin loadouts. Like uh, early match, mid match, or sorry, like early stock, mid stock, late
Um,
stock. What are some of the optimal combos that you think I should be looking for? Because I don't think I get rid of I don't get rid of Pikmin and enough. I'm still
well,
working on that.
don't you don't want to like always be chucking Pikmin off stage because you feel like you need a certain color. Like my philosophy with my Pikmin management is I have an ideal lineup that I want. Like it's usually two purples and something. Um, because that allows me a lot of freedom in how I can play the game. It allows me to pressure really well. It allows me to kill very well. But at the same time, it's like I usually won't throw off like Pikmin off the stage mid stock unless it's very specific. Like I don't need this, or I need this now, or this is hurting me that I have it. Like if I need to kill them with a blue throw, then yeah, I'm gonna ditch the red real quick. And you'll see that I throw away reds at the beginning of almost every stock, except for a few matchups because I find them the least useful. But some lineups I really enjoy. I really come to like yellow, white, purple in this game. Yellow, big hitboxes, fantastic combo potential for up smash and up air especially. Purple hits hard, allows you some freedom with your side B usage, and whites are really nice because they have the really long grab range. And if you tackle white on, and then you yellow up smash, and then you purple up air, and then you yellow up air, and it's like so much damage. That's a really good loadout. Blue, white, purple is one that I enjoy, although blue at lower percents can not always give you a combo off down throw if they DI out, and there are certain characters, but it's still strong damage output. Um, Double purple into anything, but double purple blue and double purple yellow are really strong. Kill throw with the blue, obviously. Yellow for the extra range to outrange someone, but also to help you do like 2-frame down smashes or ledge guards because of the bigger hitbox. White, or not, sorry, not white. Yellow, blue, purple is also pretty good for a similar reason. It gives you some flexibility in the range of the yellow, solid grab damage with the blue, and it can also kill. And then like purple's like the core of everything. I don't want to say like I build my gameplay around a purple, but it influences it so heavily and it allows so many more options that it's important to use. I use reds the least. They're more matchup specific. Like if I'm fighting a snake and I want someone I want a color that's gonna tank grenades in C4 and not die, reds are great. If I'm fighting a Lucas or a Ness and I want someone to deal with PK fire easily, fantastic. But a lot of the time to me they're just like a worse purple because they hit less hard. They have the range, yeah, like of normal colors, but I'm not too worried about range in that regard.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna be hitting them with purples. Not saying you should like ditch reds all the time. Like find your own brand of management. Like whatever you find to be the most effective. That's just the way I look at it and how I like to manage my Pikmin. But it's very matchup dependent. Like against Peach, I love yellows because they allow me to outspace her easier. You know, against like I said, against Snake, against Ness Lucas, I love reds because they allow me to just deal with a lot of their projectiles super easily. Against, like, Greninja, blues are pretty nice because they have more health and they're immune to water damage, so Nair won't kill them. Things like that.
Yep.
There's all these little, like, quick adjustments you'll make mid-game and character dependent. That'll help you a lot.
Yep. What's in the Ditto? I actually had an Alf Ditto today, which is kind of crazy because everybody plays Olimar, no one plays Alf.
That's true.
I kind of just do it because everybody plays Olimar. I feel like down tilt is like the best move to get Pikmin off. What do you think?
Up smash is really good.
Up smash, okay.
Yeah, it hits very like all around you, so you can usually kill stuff with it. Down tilt can do it. It's just like slow, or it's not slow, but it's like you get lag from it. When you down tilt a Pikmin, you get lag. But when you up smash a Pikmin, the Pikmin takes the hit lag, and Olimar finishes his animation on time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Were there any other questions or anything you still wanted to ask?
Is there any other like unique Olimar tech that I should be thinking about implementing?
Aside, like, whistling is like using your whistle armor is like the biggest thing if you want to consider that tech. I think for your current level, you don't need to worry about like desync stuff too much, like platform desyncs or intentionally going for like on hit desyncs where you like soak their hitbox, because that's very difficult in this game, especially due to the fact that you have to manage your Pikmin's HP values relative to the opponent's damage of the hit. But if you are like, if there is a tech that you think is cool that you wanna, oh, what just fell on me? Oh my god, what was that? If there is a tech that you do think is cool, like let's say you do want to start incorporating platform desync smashes out of like plucks more often, like I do a lot, just play the game and like try and incorporate it more. Be like, when you take a stock or when you pluck a Pikmin, see if you can hit them with it. Like, you want to incorporate stuff like that organically, and that's how I incorporate tech into my stuff. Like, if I do that, it's like, okay, I like this option, now let me just start kind of like using it in a match, and then see how like far I can push it and how I can use it. But at your level, I think right now the biggest thing to focus on is just like refining those core fundamentals of Olimar, making sure your management's getting better, making sure you're keeping track of your line, making sure you're whistling when you can, like helping to diffuse these disadvantage states, because that, honestly, that was one of your biggest issues. Like, your disadvantage when you were in shield was very poor. Your offstage disadvantage was like, I have to get out of here, I have to be right now, and you were making it a lot easier for your opponent when you didn't need to. And that's to be natural. I mean, Olimar struggles with that stuff. That's where a lot of people have a hard time. But having like a calm, collected head and being like, okay, I have time to kill. Like, I have a moment to think about this. I have options. I'm not always locked into this one thing. It's gonna make it a lot easier. And I think, like I said, you were pretty overall solid. Just there's like the 4 or 5 things I touched down on that once you do that, it's going to help you get a lot better. And then once you kind of feel more comfortable in pressing your advantage, then you're going to become better at just like finding combos, and you're going to be like, oh, this connects into that, or oh, I up aired him here, now I can back air him here. And it's like opening the floodgate almost, like where once now you're confident to be like, I'm in your face, I hit you once, let's go for a ride. You just get so much out of it.
Yeah, great. That sounds wonderful.
But yeah, I hope this helped. Funny
Yeah,
enough,
a lot. I learned a lot.
I didn't think this was gonna finish in an hour because that first video. But after the first video, there's a lot of similarities that I could touch down on. But yeah, this will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. I'll send it to you when it is. I'll get that document to you by tomorrow.
Yeah,
Detailing the
perfect.
stuff. If I think of any like resources or anything like that, like I said, I will include them. And as always, you can just like shoot me a message if you ever have any question about something specific, and I'm more than happy to answer it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I will say though, just like a general way to help improve, whenever you are asking me or anyone else or even yourself questions, try to keep things very specific. Like, let's say you're fighting Fox, instead of going like, how do I fight Fox in every situation, or like, how do I deal with advantage, neutral, and disadvantage? Be like, how do I, do you guys have any advice for when he dash attacks my shield, or when I'm at the ledge? Like, you want to keep it
Mm.
specific so you can get a specific answer. You want to try and dial in, and you'll be able to like. It's almost like piecing together a puzzle. Like if you ask me to solve the whole puzzle for you, you don't learn anything. But if you're asking like, how do you get this one instance in the whole puzzle? I'm like, oh, you do that, and you're like, oh, okay, and then the rest kind of falls into place, and then you're able to kind of you can figure. Then if I tell you how to do like one thing, or I give you advice in one aspect, you can go, oh, he thought of these options, and then now you kind of understand them in that scenario, and then you can apply them to other aspects of a match, and you can go, oh, maybe I should incorporate my up B into this to escape, and
Oh,
things like
okay.
that.